Today.
There you go.
Cool. My name is William Lee, and this is
I'm Josh Harrington.
and together we are part of the Business and IT Society at UOIT.
Yes, so just a little background about us. So he will be the commerce student, and I am the IT of the business and IT. Though we do know a little bit about each other's faculty and program as well. So if you guys have any questions, you can just throw those out to us, and we'll try and answer as many things as possible. Right.
So Josh, tell me a little about yourself. What program are you in?
So I am a networking and IT security student. I'm in my fourth year, and I'm looking forward to continuing my education here this year. There's a lot of fun courses that we've got to do, and I'm from Waterloo, and I've come here.
Okay.
And a lot of people see this school as a commuter school and a newer school, but I think it's starting to build its reputation up pretty well. And
I agree.
And being a school that you want to come to, and it's your first choice, and it's the school that's gaining that reputation to employ people, and this is where the smart students are. So that's a little bit about me and what I feel about the school. And how about yourself?
Well, I'm a fourth year finance major, minoring in operations and supply chain management. I'm actually from Hamilton, so pretty far away from here, similar to you. I also agree that UOIT is a fantastic school. Like, short and simple, it's a fantastic school. If I had to say why I chose UOIT, it would be because it is it's an up-and-coming school, and what that means is that as students, you get more opportunities to be connected and involved on campus. Whereas other schools, you might just find yourself potentially being like a number, because there's like hundreds of thousands more students. Here it's very close knit. You know everybody, you're friends with everybody, your profs on a first name basis, and it's a close culture, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that it's growing too, and we're in the midst of building a new facility just across the street, and continually growing. And with growing the facility and growing our school, we're getting a lot of students, and you're attracting a lot of the intelligence. So I don't know. So from my perspective, I know a lot of people who are bringing a lot to the table, and you're elevating each other, and elevating the information you can learn, and that's helping me personally to get a job and to be attractive to employers.
Awesome. So speaking of jobs, obviously there has to be a connect between the classroom and the job. So where is that? Where do you connect the job and the classroom environments? Through extracurricular activities of some sort, or?
So it's cool that you're learning a lot of things that you're learning on the job, or that's being implemented in the workplace right now. But those things are changing. But as students, we recognize that you and I are both involved in societies and clubs on campus, and we kind of try to deliver the information to students to kind of enrich the learning you have in the classroom, and extend what you can learn in the classroom to self-study that might be relevant in 5 to 10 years too. So it's nice to see that we're working with technology and information that's continually being learned, and is cutting edge. So some places might not even have that yet, and they're transitioning towards it. So getting trained in that technology or those practices or theories, it's kind of cool that we have that opportunity here.
So you mentioned to me that you're a part of clubs and societies. So do you want to expand a little bit more on that?
Well, I mean, we're both part of the same society, business and IT. You're, of course, the president. So I think let me throw it at you this way. You talk about BITSOC, and then we'll go down into the extra things that are part of BITSOC.
Okay, sure. So the Business and IT Society is kind of like an umbrella association that oversees all the clubs and societies under the FBIT faculty.
Right.
So if you decide to go to UOIT, you're instantly a member, don't sign up for anything. Right. And what BITSOC does is it helps the sub-societies under us operate so that they can provide students that exceptional experience and host those events that really get students engaged. So we currently have, I believe, 6 or 7 sub-societies. We have the Accounting Association, the Finance Society, Marketing Association, Human Resources Association, Game Development Society, DECA, and of course, last but not least,
NETSOC, right?
Yeah.
So those are a little bit of the encompassing societies that we have there, and we are continually growing them. I know there's talks about an entrepreneurial society or club starting up, and then there's one kind of in the works. But as we're getting more majors and there's more to learn and to be taught at the school, so comes more societies and things to be involved in. As you said, NETSOC for me, I'm the president of NETSOC. That's the Networking and IT Security Society. It's pretty cool that we get to network with industry professionals. We throw on a lot of workshops to extend our learning. Things that you, as I said earlier, you learn in the classroom, but you want to extend further or look into a little bit further. It's nice that being a young school, we're also getting a lot of recruitment opportunities as far as America, and some people are working overseas. So it's cool to see how far we kind of extend as a smaller university, continually growing. We're getting bigger, and seeing the connections that previous people as part of networking and IT security and who are involved in the society have brought the name of UOIT and NETSOC. So it's nice that we have those things in place. And again, NETSOC, as a networking and IT security student, you are automatically a member. And again, reach out to us if there's anything from academics to professional help or anything like that. We're always there. So it's nice that we have that, working directly with BITSOC too. There's always that communication channel, and you get that tight-knit community that you were speaking about earlier.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. I think what's also cool on the business side of things is that when you join any of these clubs like HRA, like marketing, finance, or the Accounting Association, you don't necessarily have to already have chosen what major you want to be a part of to join those clubs. So what it really does is it gives you an opportunity as a first-year student just coming in to really understand, like, is this what you want to do? Can you see yourself like 5 years down the line doing this type of job day in, day out with the people that you're networked with at these events? And what's amazing is that because you have these opportunities, you get a better picture of what you want to do in the future, so you can plan accordingly. And I think it fits really well with the UOIT curriculum, because as a business student, you don't choose your major until your third or fourth year. And because of that, you kind of get a chance to see everything and experience everything, just so you really get to understand where you want to be down the road. And I'm sure you can relate as like a high school student. Maybe you didn't know what exactly your dream job was like 10, 20 years down the line. So, because I certainly didn't. And I think that this program and the clubs and societies that offer such great events really helped steer me towards the path that I want to go to.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you were mentioning that, you're not sure what you're going to be doing as far as even into your second year. You have a general idea what you're kind of learning. But the cool thing about, like you said, with your program, and you're getting kind of bits and pieces from all these majors, and it's making you more versatile as a prospective employee, as well as kind of enforcing any gaps that you might have had coming out of high school into university. They kind of start you off as if maybe you took an accounting class in high school, or maybe you didn't. Well, they're still going to make sure that everyone's on an equal playing field, and everyone's going to have that that information that brings them to be able to choose from the wide variety that we offer on campus. So I think that's pretty cool. So why did you choose UOIT?
So again, I would definitely say that I chose UOIT because it's a very close-knit school, and you have a chance to be more than you can be at another university. And what I mean by that is, at least in my personal experience, I had the opportunity to join a lot of clubs concurrently. So what that means was, for example, in my second year, I held 3 or 4 executive positions on different clubs. But if you go to another university, you might not have the opportunity because they might not appreciate the fact that you want to be so involved. They might not believe in your time commitment. But because I was able to develop close relationships with everyone that I worked with in my first year, they were able to believe in me and give me these opportunities. And I feel like, again, these opportunities aren't something that you can get potentially at another university, which is why I liked personally to choose UOIT.
Sure, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I completely agree with a lot of what you're saying. For me personally, I chose UOIT It's actually a funny story. I got accepted to another university previously, one in my hometown. And I went there for a year, and I was sitting in lecture, and I was talking to my friends about how I wasn't enjoying the courses I was taking. And I didn't think that they really applied to me. And I told them what I liked. I told them about security and how I was interested in that. I thought there's a future with that.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, he's like, "Have you heard of UOIT?" So the first thing I did is I was on my laptop, opened it up, looked at the university, looked at the program, saw a little bit of what they were offering. And actually that week I sent my application to transfer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's really cool because, as you said, when I was at that other university, I kind of felt like a number, or I was just walking around, me to my classes back to home. I'm just doing the same thing over and over, day to day. Whereas here, I feel like I have more of a belonging. I've got a lot of opportunities to be here, and through participating in classes and speaking with people like you and meeting fellow classmates that you might be here in commerce, but we have that intersection between business and IT.
Yep.
And with it being a smaller school, you get a lot of the connections. There's so many connections that our professors have and our faculty has for us, that oftentimes I feel like there isn't enough time for us to take all of the things that we want to do and that we're offered. So getting an internship, and going to Portugal myself, and getting to work on the front lines with fraud detection, that was really cool for me. Having the opportunity to be a teaching assistant or a research assistant through my time here. I mean, you look at a lot of other universities, and how many can say that they're an undergraduate and they're a teaching assistant? That's something that you have to have the ability to know the material, to lead, and to take control of an entire class, because you ultimately have a little bit of responsibility for teaching the years below you. And I think that speaks wonders about our school, that we do learn so much, that we are capable of teaching something that another school master's student might only be getting to. So
yeah, for sure.
It feels like we have a little bit of a step above, which is always nice. And it's nice again, I always harp on employment outside of university, but that's what people are looking for, right?
Yeah, so I completely agree. So you mentioned that your external experiences from the school. So can you elaborate on that? Like maybe your trip to Portugal or your jobs?
Yeah, for sure. So actually, it all started in my first year. I was in one of my lectures, and the professor had made an announcement saying, like, I'm going to a conference. It's in Alaska. Does anyone want to come with me? And I was like, you know what? Let's just throw it out here. Let's throw a dart to the board and see if I can get the opportunity. And he reached out to me, said, yeah, let's take you there. So that summer, I was working in Edmonton, and I got paid to go to this conference and help out with the conference. So you get a lot of networking through that. Yeah. Excuse me. And then my going on with that same professor, he the next year saw what I did in Alaska, saw that I'm capable of all these things. Involved in school, reached out to me and said, "There's an opportunity to do an internship. You can do it at this point, and get yourself ahead, get your internship credit." Get all that all in one fell swoop. Yep. So I said, sure, tell me about it. And it ended up being in Portugal. So, okay. Nice. Get to go to Portugal. And
that's amazing.
Yeah. During the winter. So didn't have to deal with any of the Canadian winter.
Oh,
so I got to just go to some beaches while you guys were all bundled up, and learned a lot there that I brought back here, translated from work experience to teaching my peers, to kind of putting me a little bit ahead of some other students too, because you get to, you get those opportunities that bring you a step ahead, and you get to see the world perspective and see what's out there already and what you need to prepare for and what you maybe are lacking in learning. So from that perspective, I was very fortunate. Didn't need to know the language at all when I was in Portugal. They're very friendly there. The place that I worked was great. There's English speaking. There's people from all around the world. Kind of meeting and working on projects together. So I think that getting that opportunity to travel through UOIT, through the programs that are offered for business and IT students, we got to do, and myself, I got to do a lot. And I know you also did some international traveling too, right?
Yeah, so I was actually part of the Ontario Global Edge program provided by UOIT. So during my second year summer, I was able to go to Hong Kong and work at a small startup. And I think tying back into what you said, I really appreciate the opportunity to like travel internationally, and it's kind of like when you're in high school and university, you kind of think that the final exam is the real test to see if you learned it or not. But for me, it was actually being on the job and seeing, do I have like the capabilities and the experiences that I developed in class to actually do the work that my boss was telling me to do. And fortunately, it was enough. And just like to add to that, like I feel like you wouldn't have as many opportunities to go somewhere else, maybe if you went to another university. But here, I was like streamlined. Everyone was very supportive of me moving to Hong Kong for the summer, and just like overwhelming support from both ends. UOIT took care of me even while I was there before we were leaving and everything. And the job experience that I was able to get really, like you said, catapulted me ahead of my peers in the sense that I know how the real world works now. I understand what skill sets I need to improve on, what I already was good at, and how I can shift myself so that come like 2 years time when I'm actually looking for a full-time job, I'm going to be prepared. And honestly, just like an amazing experience overall.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you get all that from your international experiences and your internships, but UOIT offers more than just international experiences and internships. I mean, some people may not want to go and travel abroad. Some people may want to, stay at home where it's a little bit more local. You know the people around you, and that's cool that we offer those opportunities too. Through just local internships with people that whether it be IBM or things, in GTA.
For sure.
And again, if there's internship opportunities, but even if you don't feel like doing the internship opportunities or anything like that, we offer the unique experience of like a capstone project here.
For sure. Do you want to explain what capstone is real quickly?
Yeah. So essentially, the layman term for a capstone project is. UOIT is approached by a number of businesses, and this might be, business-related, commerce-related businesses, IT-related businesses, or companies, startups, things like that. And they approach UOIT, and they say, "I have this project here. I'm hoping we can work on it, and hopefully you can bring some students who are keen on researching a little more into this, and looking into this and doing some work for us." So you spend that time researching these things, performing the tasks that are required to fulfill this project that the company is looking for. You work with a team of other students within your faculty, sometimes between business and IT, or just purely business or purely IT. So it's a good way to network with industry professionals. Get your name out there. I've done this great job at this capstone here. I presented it to you. This is something your company's going to take and implement within their business, whether it be a new strategy that they're looking forward to or new technology they want to look at. Excuse me. So you get to do that. You get to network with them. You're building the connections with students and your peers who may not necessarily be working in the same field as you, but as you branch off after graduation, you're extending your network and the reach that your personal network has with a number of businesses, whether it's locally or globally. You can feel free to add anything you want in there too. But I think, regardless as if you choose an internship or the capstone, they're great. And no matter what, at the end of your time at UOIT, you get that experience that you're looking for, that employers are looking for. So you're, again, putting yourself a little bit ahead of those other people who are applying to maybe the same position you are outside of university.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I know most of my friends that are currently doing capstone. It's really interesting because you don't really, in most other universities, right, you don't really get to see the community around you that much. And for you to be in a capstone environment and actually see how that company in your community affects not only the community, but like how they operate and everything, it really goes to show the commitment that UOIT has to making sure that you're going to be prepared when you graduate. Because if you don't have this experience, right, then like how can you translate the classroom environment learnings into applicable skills?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you again. It's nice again that you have the whole system is set up to help you grow and help you succeed. It's where UIT is looking out for you from the time you start to that time when you're getting jobs, whether it be bringing in recruiters to say like, look at all these professionals we have, look at all these qualified and amazing people at UOIT. Come to UOIT, we have all these things offered, and we're only continuing to offer more. So I think that's kind of awesome that we have that.
Mm-hmm. So I guess you could say like our underlying theme in this talk has been the university experience and tying that back into how to get a job at the end of the day. So what do you currently think are your job prospects or previous alumni's job prospects after graduating from UOIT?
All right, well, yeah, exactly. So from my second year, I've been getting job opportunities and people asking me for jobs. And when are you done in school? We want you to come back and work for us. Over the summer, I was working for a company, and the same manager keeps saying, are you done school yet, Josh? Like, I want you to come work for me. And it's fun to say, no, I'm still learning more. I'm still going to be more valuable the more I spend on this time. And they're saying things like, well, we'll have a spot for you. We'll have a spot for you. And it's nice that you have people even just from, things like LinkedIn, where they're contacting you and saying like, hey, I saw your profile. You have all these things. You're meeting every criteria we're looking for. So it's nice that, I'm getting opportunities from people that I've previously worked for, people who I haven't even met in my life before. And it's just nice to know that with this program, I've got the opportunity to, work, whether it be, again, locally or globally. There's always opportunities. Alumni have, as I said, jobs working in California, working in New York, working overseas. So having, that network and all those people who are giving the UOIT brand and saying, look, this is where I'm a tremendous worker. Bring more of us in here, and we'll continue to show you how awesome we really are. So for me, I've already got a few job perspectives lined up. It's kind of, just going through, finishing my schooling, making sure that I've learned everything that I can here and everything that'll help me in the future. But it is nice to know that those jobs are just waiting. Mm-hmm. And how about yourself?
So I guess I'll make 2 points on that. So in terms of like job prospects for me currently, I mean, I do have as well like several job prospects lined up just because of the fact that I had all this work experience, extracurricular experience that I was able to tie into these core skills that they're looking for in the job. But going beyond that, what's also interesting about UOIT is the fact that we're opening up a new entrepreneurship major. And I know during my time at UOIT, I actually started up 2 businesses. And what's interesting was the faculty here at UOIT was able to help me during the whole way. They were able to provide me workshops so I can understand like what my markets are and how I can really go about that step-by-step process. So even if you don't want to work for somebody else, UOIT has it covered on that end. And I can always pursue my other businesses full-time as another job prospect option. So I think the utility that you get from this learning education that you get at UOIT can really help you, whether you want to work for a big bank or a large networking firm, or you even want to do something by yourself. So I think we're covered on all those grounds.
Yeah, you mentioned that you started up those 2 businesses, and that's kind of like using the incubation and the incubator that we have on campus. And do you want to say a little bit about that? I know a lot of people are doing similar to what you're doing and starting that business here, and starting that new idea and that new startup here. So yeah, if you want to just let me know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so what's really interesting about the incubator is that, first of all, faculty and staff are always behind your back. I mean, I can't even count the amount of times I've called someone at late in the evening asking for advice, and they pick up, and like they really help you out. Not only with that, but they give you office space, which was fantastic. It's just a place where you know that place is yours and you can work on your idea, as well as the fact that they give you all these workshops. So again, you're not by yourself when you have just an idea. They help you turn that idea into something that can be like commercialized or can be patented. And what's really amazing about that is that it's not only just UOIT that's helping you, it's UOIT extending out to the community that you might be helping with your own project. And they're getting resources from both sides to help you so you can really achieve what you want to achieve. So at the end of the day, when you think it's just a small idea, how am I going to do it? UOIT actually helps you the whole way. So it's not as misguided as it may look. So really fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. So we have the incubator program, and then we also have all these labs that students have access to. Whether it's using it through your courses or in your free time to kind of experiment with things you're doing, work with technology, deploy your own lab and work on anything that might come to your mind or things that you want to just test out. And I think there's also things for commerce students outside of just IT. You have like the finance lab. There's a lot of opportunities for you. What else is there? Opportunities for commerce student here at UOIT.
Well, I mean, UOIT has a lot of external competitions that we do attend yearly. Some being the Ramen International Trading Competition. We also do multiple accounting conferences that are external, as well as multiple marketing and game development challenges that are external. And what's really cool with that is that even if you want to join or you bring that idea to your professor, we're going to have a support group that are going to help you mobilize from the idea of just joining and trying to attend to actually having a full team, full support from the faculty, and making sure that you can really just be the best that you can be when it comes to that competition. And at the end of the day, that's really helpful for students because you're taking away all these skills that could be applicable to the job force when you graduate, or you could be meeting new friends that you might have never met in the first place if you couldn't even attend these events. So the opportunities here are really limitless. It's just up to you.
Yeah, and I think we're also getting a lot of traction with those external competitions and even internal competitions. A lot of universities are knocking on the door saying, hey, we would like to participate in this, or hey, I see you have this amazing accounting competition. You're bringing in all these recruiters, and it's showing that to these recruiters that you have the skills, you have the know-how, how to be successful in whatever you are pursuing. So it's nice to see that we are being successful, and I believe you were super successful in the competitions that you've participated in. I think even the Apex competition you placed really well in, and we're bringing, from an IT perspective, we're bringing students to Quebec to participate in a competition or a hacking competition. So we're continually growing, continually extending that outreach, and continually bringing up from a smaller school to now being a dominating school in these competitions.
I definitely agree. And what's really interesting is because we are a new school, most people are like, where did these guys come from? And to see that we as a team can go to competitions all the way as far as Calgary or wherever around the world and really dominate with the skills that we learned from school, it really goes to show again the education that we got is top of the line. We can be a cohesive unit because we are put in these team environments where, realistically in the job force, you're probably going to be in team environments anyways, right? So you're developing those soft skills as well as those hard technical skills, and you're combining them into a cohesive unit that can take the trophy home.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of it extends back to what we're being taught in class as well. I personally have enjoyed all of my classes. As I mentioned earlier, there were some classes that I had to take at a previous university that I wasn't enjoying, but I feel like, and you can speak on this as well, but I feel like all the courses I've been taking here have been applicable to anywhere I've worked over the summers or any certifications that I'm taking. I've had a lot of favorite classes, and the professors here are great. They're personable, and they're knowledgeable, and that's something that you're looking for, right? So. What about you? What are some of your favorite classes that you've taken here?
Favorite classes would probably have to be some of my operations or finance classes, like derivatives, operations, supply chain. And what I found really interesting about that was that the professors were really keen on showing you what we're learning, and then right afterwards saying, now this is how the industry does it. So it's not like you're trying to make that connection of where am I going to fit this in later on in my life. It's the professors actually telling you this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to need to learn these skills because come 2 years when you graduate or when you graduate, you're going to need this skill. So I think that's really interesting that they were able to tie that in together. And not only that, but they're also able to bring in guest speakers who also have industry experience. So they're really streamlining the whole process for you, so you don't have to make any of those guesses or connections. yeah, like honestly, I've had a blast with this education.
Yeah, so you know, the education, and then we have a lot of things like events on campus, right? Whether that's, you know, extracurricular or just, you know, hanging out and meeting friends and talking with friends. So do you want to speak a little bit about, you know, the events that we offer? I know you're heavily involved with that. You know, the SA, our student association, throws a lot of events too. So what are some of the ones that you'd say are the highlights and the ones you look forward to every year?
Okay, yeah. So when you think of events at school, you have to think of, I guess, like two different types of events. One is like the fun events to get people engaged, and you have the technical events where it's you're actually learning those skills, and we're bringing, and the clubs are bringing in external people from like, say like Toronto or other companies to make sure that you understand what they're looking for when you apply to them for a job. So some of the great events that we have is we usually have a lot of networking events. And what that does is it really connects our students with recruiters and networking alumni, so we can make sure that they can build those connections early on. So by the time you're at year 4, you're looking for a job, you have all those friends in the industry that are going to tell you exactly what you need to do. But on top of that, we also have fun events because, you know, you shouldn't always have technical events. So we do have collaborative events, such as like laser tag nights, movie nights. We do paintballing, that type of stuff that really like. We try to like gauge the interest of what students want, and it's not always about like what we've always traditionally have, because we're very flexible, I feel, in that sense, because we are a small community. So if everyone has a good idea of starting, say, X new event, then they can be empowered to actually create that event. So that provides a lot of like ambiguity in a good way, so that you can really tailor your own university experience if you see fit.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, you know, there's a lot of off-campus things too. You know, there's skating, and you know, you don't have to be in a specific major to attend some of these events, and that's what a lot of people. It's nice to realize. You know, I've been to the accounting case competitions, and I'm in IT. It's nice to kind of meet those people, and you know, extend your reach. So I think that's something that you would want to, you know, continue to do, and try and go to as many events as you possibly can. You know, while you're having your time here at UOIT, it's important to, you know, get involved, reach out as many ways as possible, and continue with your growth. But I think that's all the time we have right now.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you wanted to say just before we kind of have to head out to some of our other classes?
Yeah, I guess this is one thing. I mean, UOIT is a great school, and wherever you go, it's up to you to make decisions so that you have a good university experience. And if you want to come to UOIT, you want to come for the right reasons. You want to come because we are a close-knit community, because we're flexible, because we have a great support staff that can really help you, and because at the end of the day, you're looking for that job, and we can help you with that. So that's why I think you should come to UOIT. And honestly, on both our ends, it's a great experience. So.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So again, thanks for hanging out with us, and you know, we had a good time chatting, and you know, catching up with each other. It's nice to, you know, see where you are, you know, coming in from the same year, and you know, seeing where we progressed as individuals, and you know, where we brought UIT and continue to bring UIT. So again, thanks to everyone who is here with us, and hopefully you enjoyed the chat. And hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Awesome.